I will call this Regional Transportation Commission meeting to order. It is 9 a.m. and it's May 16, 2025. We'll start with a roll call. Madam Clerk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sandra Rosenberg,
Here.
Devin Reese,
Here.
Alexis Hill,
Here.
Bill Thomas,
Here.
Mariluz Garcia,
Here.
and Adam Spear.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. If Ms. Rosenberg can please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We'll now do public comment. Madam Clerk.
Good morning. We have one public comment from Adam Searcy.
Great.
Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. My comments in regards to item 4.3.1 on consent. My name's Adam Searcy, for the record. I'm the Chief Operating Officer with the Washoe County School District. I just want to express on behalf of the school district our gratitude for this potential MOU and demonstration of goodwill. There are so many important reasons to support this pilot program, most of which are already likely well familiar to you. Access to the schools and daily attendance is first and foremost aligned with our mission at the school district, but extracurricular activities are also an important element of the students' experience and connection with their community and our schools, and often a sticking point for some students' participation that this will likely help. But beyond the school day, access to healthy activities elsewhere in the community, outside of school hours, rather than being stuck at home on mindless hours of screen time, often in negative ways, has exceptional potential to benefit these students' lives and our community as a whole. This is the stuff you likely already are well aware of, but I really couldn't help but come here and say it out loud. What I really want to emphasize, though, on behalf of Washoe County School District, is the commitment that we intend to make towards the marketing and management, the facilitation and the learning potential associated from this work. We have a very unique position at the school district with access to our students and families. So this won't be a passive advertising campaign. We intend to work this opportunity with our families and with our community to bring the most potential benefit and benefit to all involved. This is really just such a refreshing partnership and gesture of an interagency collaboration. You should all be very proud, honestly. And I want to thank you on behalf of the district, and also appreciate your staff from Mr. Thomas on down, including specifically Jim G. Not only are these folks at the top of their game, but they also share their vision, your vision, and commitment to community. It's been a pleasure working just up to this point with them. This is the sort of stuff that gets me out of bed in the morning. This is the sort of public service that I signed up for. And on behalf of the school district, I wanted to make that commitment as far as being that partner in this MOU and making it as successful as possible. Thank you for sharing this vision, and you can count on WCSD to make this a success alongside the RTC. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I see that Trustee Westlake is here. So thank you for showing your support. We're really excited about this potential program. Any other public comment, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Colleen Westlake would like to
Oh,
speak.
wonderful. Here she is.
I always have to talk.
Yay.
Good morning, everyone. Colleen Westlake, trustee for the school district for District B, and it is a true pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be a trustee, and I know the value that our students bring to our community. They are our future. I am so grateful and thankful for your support of the community and our students. This is going to be not just support of the students, but for their families. It's going to have a huge positive impact. When there's so many negative things going on in the world, We are truly, truly grateful. When I heard of it first, I actually couldn't believe it. I pinched myself. I'm like, this is not real. So truly, we are thankful. The trustees, the district, we are honored that you are making this commitment to us and our kids. So thank you so very much. And if I might, I promise I will never curse again when I get stuck behind an RTC bus. I will be so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank
From all of
you.
us. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
No other comments.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. We'll now move into the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda, Mr. Thomas?
Yes, Madam Chair. In the context of the conflicting meetings that you have to attend, we're going to drop presentation.
Thank you so much. And just to notify the public, we obviously are light on quorum today. We have a quorum, but we're going to need to work through this meeting. The mayor and I are going to be doing a ribbon cutting at the senior center. So we're going to try to get out of here by 9:45. So with those changes on the agenda, I am looking for a motion.
Madam Chair, move to approve.
Okay, I'll take Mr. Reese and a second from Ms. Garcia. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. And I think that passed unanimously. We'll now move into our consent items. And I just want to point out what you had heard on public comment. 431, this is an incredibly exciting pilot project that RTC is taking with the Washoe County School District. And I appreciate the staff really making this a priority. We, as a board, wanted to see how we could get more kids on buses, and we did a pilot project this summer that was very successful. And the staff did incredible work working with Washoe County School District to see how we could make sure we get these kids on our buses, and have created a great system. I don't know, Mr. Thomas, if you want to add anything to that.
I just say, again, thank you to Jim Gee, who's worked this with Adam. The two of them really kind of shaped this program, and I know they'll both be deeply involved in making sure it's successful. So we're very eager and excited about this new program.
And kids will ride free with this program. So I just wanted to point that out on consent, but I am looking for a motion from the board on consent.
Madam Chair, if I may, before I make that motion, this is Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Gee, but also I want to thank Commissioner Garcia and you, Commissioner and Chair Hill. This is a very important project with the school district. I appreciate Ms. Westlake, Trustee Westlake, and Mr. Searcy being here, but I will tell you this required heavy leadership from Ms. Garcia and from you, and so I just don't want the moment to pass without my extending my personal thanks to both of you for advocating so strongly for our seniors, our students rather. And so I'm interested to watch the program unfold. And I also want to make sure that it covers the most amount of students that we can. And so I'll be looking forward to seeing how it rolls out. But thank you to the both of you for your leadership.
Thank you so much. And I know we received a really great public comment about how we can push these also to our charter school partners. And so that will be the next step that our staff will be looking into. Commissioner Garcia, do you have anything?
Equally as excited, and thank you, Bill, for prioritizing even our youngest constituents here and making sure that they have access. So I'm grateful to second this motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on our consent. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. And I think that motion passes unanimously as well. Exciting day for RTC. Thank you, Washoe County School District, for your partnership. We'll now move into our public hearing. I will open up the public hearing. Item 5, this is a public hearing on Amendment 6 to the FY23 to 27 Regional Transportation Improvement Program and adopting a resolution number 6 for our RTIP. And we've got a staff presentation.
Good morning, members of the board. Graham Dollarhide, Planning Manager with RTC for the record. So this morning I'll be presenting the proposed amendment number 6 to the federal fiscal year 2023 to 2027 Regional Transportation Improvement Program, or RTIP. So just a brief overview of the purpose of the RTIP and some of the process involved in approving it. It is a federally required, prioritized program of scheduled and fiscally constrained transportation improvement projects designed to achieve the area's goals and objectives established in the long-range plan, the Regional Transportation Plan, or RTP. The RTIP includes all federally funded transportation projects and all regionally significant transportation projects regardless of funding source, and carried out by any agency within the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, boundary. So that's oftentimes why you will see projects led by other agencies, such as City of Reno, City of Sparks, Washoe County, NDOT, in the RTC's RTIP. One final note I'd like to mention is that inclusion in the RTIP is one of the steps necessary in making projects eligible for federal funding. So this graphic shows a quick overview of the process of moving projects from that long-range vision through implementation. So the long-range plan, the RTP, is where projects are identified and prioritized. Then the highest priority projects and those that are also fiscally constrained are then moved into the short-range program of projects, which is where we are now. And those projects programmed in the RTIP allow for carrying forward into the agreement and implementation phases. So I won't go over the details of every project one by one, but there are additional details in the agenda packet. So I will provide a brief summary of those proposed changes, separated into those projects led by NDOT and those led by RTC. So with the NDOT-led projects, there are budget augmentations to 3 projects based on scope changes in those, and the changes in funding levels are based on updated budget estimates and availability of funding. There's also a reallocation of a portion of scope and budget from one project into another. So the portion of scope and budget that is being removed from the one project is being incorporated part and parcel into the other project. There are additionally 3 all-new projects added to this RTIP amendment, and then minor updates to 3 other projects, which are simply just a change in the timing to project delivery. Mm-hmm. For the RTC-led projects, there is a consolidation of 4 existing projects into one new project, the Biggest Little Bike Network, and the full scope and budget from the existing projects, the 4 existing projects, they will remain intact as they are moved into this one project. And then there are also minor updates to 1 additional project, just simply a change in the funding mix. Some final notes about this RTIP amendment process. The proposed amendment does require approval by this board, and then subsequently approvals at the state and federal levels. RTC did hold a public comment period, which was open from April 24th to May 14th. No public comments were received, although the public comment period was advertised through several media outlets, including a Spanish language newspaper, and posted to the RTC website. Also, this proposed amendment was presented to the RTC's advisory committees, the CMAC and TAC. A summary of comments are available in the agenda packet. And finally, this meeting does represent a public hearing. So with that, I will take any questions.
Thank you so much. Do we have any board questions online?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay.
No, Madam Chair.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment on this item?
No, we don't.
Okay. I appreciate the brief summary. It's the full project list is on in the packet on page 201, and I'm very excited that we're able to move these forward a little bit more quickly. So thank you for that. With that, I am looking for a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Reese. And Commissioner Garcia, was that you second?
Yes.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed, please say nay. And that motion passes unanimously. We will close our public hearing and move into item 6, our discussion items and presentations. And we'll move into 6.1. Ms. Free, welcome.
Good morning. This is Laura Free for the record. Agenda item 6.1 is just an informational item for the board. And in view of our time crunch, I could boil this down to one sentence if the chair wishes, but I will speed through the PowerPoint. As some of you might know from your own home jurisdictions, if you will, the Department of Justice last year came out with a new rule for Title II of the ADA that required web accessibility improvements to be made by local governments. And we have, because we are a special purpose local government rather than a regular local government, we have until April 26th of 2027 to comply. But the good news is, we are largely compliant as it is. You may be familiar with the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. We are compliant at level 2.1, level 2A. And we've recently done some work to make our site even more compliant. A lot of what our problems are with our website stem from the source code that would take quite a bit more time and money for our existing vendor to fix. And we're, of course, our social media is compliant, and we're looking at our mobile apps, because one of the things in the rule is that use of mobile apps, even if you contract with a vendor, must also be compliant. So briefly, DOJ requires websites to be compliant. We are already compliant at that level. Social media content, mobile apps, even third party. And then this is a key thing that we'll be working on. Older web content can be archived and does not need to be made compliant unless someone requests, but newer stuff, that is from 2024 onwards, must be compliant from the jump. So what are we doing? I mentioned a minute ago, some of our source code is non-compliant. Well, we're in the process of doing an RFP for a new website. In fact, the review team is reading them this week. And in our scope of work, we mandated compliance with Web Content 2.2, which has about 9 additional accessibility criteria. So we're going to exceed 2.1, hopefully by the end of this calendar year. With respect to some of the other parts of the rule, we're going to be working with specialty counsel to examine what exactly the feds mean by conforming alternate versions for our large reports, like the RTP and the RTIP. And we're going to be examining how best to make our visual exhibits for board meeting content and presentations accessible. Because as you know, a lot of the content RTC produces is very visually engaging, and we pride ourselves on that, but we also need to make it accessible. So there's a little bit of a tension there. We may be moving forward with a better web scanning app than the one we have now. And again, if we need to amend contracts with app vendors, we will do that. And that is it in a nutshell. The take home for the board is that we are compliant with large portions of this rule, but we can always be better. And of course, we need to be.
Thank you. I asked for this presentation, board members, and just wanted to because we serve so many disabled people at RTC, I wanted to make sure that we were following all these rules and working very hard to be the best in the region. And Ms. Freed, I think, outlined that we're making it a priority and we're exceeding the standard as it is right now. And I greatly appreciate that. And I know that there are a lot of partners who visit our website and help us correct where we need to correct. And I appreciate them for doing that for us. And we get better with them. So we've gone through this at Washoe County, and I just wanted to make sure that RTC was on the same page. And I'm ecstatic that we are. Any board members have comments?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to say thank you for your leadership and shining light on this very important topic. And when you're ready, I'm happy to make a motion to approve.
And we don't even have to make a motion. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. And Commissioner Reese, do you have anything?
No, but I appreciate the presentation. Very good information.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Freed. And we want to support you where you need to get that support and additional funding for making sure we're compliant. So thank you for that.
Understood. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. We'll now move into our annual report. Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So each of the board members and the public has access to the annual report we prepare each year that details exactly what we've done over the past year. I'm very proud to say that we've had some major significant movement in terms of improving the transportation network in our community. And I wanted to present to the board a very brief video that looks at some of the highlights.
Nice.
So again, that's kind of a summary very quickly. Very proud of what we've been able to do this year, and it wouldn't happen without clarity from the board in terms of your vision and support when we bring these projects forward, many of which are very complex and require multiple decision-making check-in points that the board's been supportive about. I'd also want to point out much of our success in public transportation has to do with our great relationship and the dedication and support of Keolis and MTM.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I think it's a great annual report and really shows all the efforts of the team and how much RTC is really making people's lives better. So I'll throw it over to the board members online. Do you have any comments?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Reese. I just want to say thank you. I have seen the video, but I'm not seeing it in real time, of course. But it just highlights the important work that RTC continues to do. I would like to especially thank my colleagues on the dais for the work that they do to innovate, to drive conversations around changes to our transportation infrastructure, who we serve and how we serve them, because I think that's a lot of the changes that I've observed in the last 5 or so years. And so I'm grateful to be a part of it and know that we have a considerable amount of work to do as we just seek to figure out new paths. So thank you to all of our staff, to all the drivers and mechanics, all the people that make it happen. I'm grateful today and very thankful for the presentation.
Yep, 2024 was a great year. Commissioner Garcia, anything?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm especially proud of the 32 months of ridership growth. I think that's something to be celebrated, and I've just been really pleased and impressed with the amount of community outreach that RTC continues to do. So I think the annual report does a great job of telling our story in the video I'm watching. It was a little delayed watching it on YouTube from here, but the video is great too, so thank you.
Yes, great video, a great snapshot of the work. All right, with that, no action. So I will move into 6.3. Ms. Freed again.
I'm back still. Laura Freed for the record again. Correct. Agenda item 6.3 is an action item. As the board knows, the contract between the RTC Board of Commissioners and the Executive Director requires that the board evaluate the Executive Director's annual performance at or near the end of the fiscal year as it pertains to the duties and obligations of the position. This process is sort of governed by 3 things. Number 1, the employment contract. Number 2, management policy P1 as it pertains to the executive director, and the board bylaws. Pursuant to those authorities, the chair of the RTC board kind of controls and guides the process. So I'm just here as a facilitator, really, and once the evaluation has been conducted, which it has, I will hand it off to the chair and she will perform the evaluation. I'm here for mechanical questions.
Wonderful. And Ms. Freed, you were very helpful with reworking the review and getting it online. And so I really appreciate that. And I think the questions, we kind of tightened them up, and thank you for working with me on that.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate the board members who, we had 4 board members fill out the online survey. Thank you so much. It gave me a really good idea of your thoughts on Bill's performance. And going through here, I sit on 15 boards, and I have not seen such a positive review of any executive director of any of the boards I sit on. There are excellence, outstanding, on almost every item. Vice Chair Reese and I had an opportunity to sit down with Mr. Thomas and go through the review in detail, and we expressed our how impressed we are with your commitment to RTC and our community, and really working with the board so closely, and finding someone who understands the community and who is so open to all the changes that have been made in the last, I would say, 2 years on this board, as well as the push that we've made to better support staff, and both in the administrative office and both with our partners at Keolis. We have definitely been so impressed with you, and I just wanted to bring out some of the achievements that board members had highlighted. Implementing the board priority of free bus trips for kids was highlighted as something that the board was really impressed with. The RTP completion, engaging in Tahoe in a new level, that was my comment. Identifying our staff and helping them grow was a comment from a board member. Working with our staff and other entities to achieve our strategic goals, and really helping transform our board vision into reality. And so I think that we are, feel very blessed to work with you, Bill, and And the things that were highlighted on, objectives for the upcoming year are, continuing to evolve as a board and prioritizing our regional collaboration, which you've been so good at, and funding Sun Valley improvements is a big highlight, and supporting the planning process for Incline Village and Crystal Bay regional and local public transportation, and you've taken a lead on that. So just continue to push that up, and then supporting our Truckee River planning investments and funding. And before I get into, this is a contract that is constantly, what do you call it, Adam? Is it like alive? Is that what you would call it?
It's sometimes referred to as an evergreen
Evergreen, thank you.
provision.
It's not alive. And it's an evergreen contract. So we're not renewing it today. We're talking about a potential bonus or funding increase for Mr. Thomas. But I wanted to, before I highlight what Mr. Reese and I concluded, I wanted to open it up to board members for additional comments.
Madam Chair, I'd like to chime in. I think one of the things that stood out to me the most about Mr. Thomas's performance is just his ongoing excellence in communication. I think his ability to communicate not only with the board, his staff, but he's able to communicate with the larger community in terms of engaging stakeholders. He's able to cultivate partnerships, and I think that all trickles down into being able to inspire his teams under his roof. So I've just been overall very impressed by his performance.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair Reese.
Thank you, Chair Hill. I really cannot add a great deal to your excellent commentary, but what I will say is that it is complex and challenging to be working in transportation in 2025. And sometimes I think that in government, it's real easy to do what you've always done, especially as I suppose, Mr. Thomas, you get closer to the end of your life in government than the beginning. But what I constantly am amazed by is your willingness, Mr. Thomas, to adapt, to evolve, to listen to the needs of the community, to grow as your staff pushes you to be better and different, and certainly with the board. And so I just say kudos to you. I tip my hat to you. My review was obviously based on, many years of knowing you, but very specifically based on the year that you've just had. I think you continue to amaze me. You set the bar very high for our community. You are a very humble and kind and gracious human, and that makes it easier for us to be so very grateful for your service. But also know, I hope that you know in your heart of hearts and your family knows how very hard you work, how much that you care about this community, and how it makes it so very easy for you to lean in. Even when things are difficult or hard or complex, it is not easy to take 5 elected officials who have varying backgrounds, interests, and different kinds of visions and goals, and to really make them be a unified goal. So in the end, I just say thank you so very much. It was really a privilege to work through this process also with Chair Hill, because I think that each of us has many commissions and committees that we serve on, and we get to evaluate many directors. None are quite your equal. You really have stood out among all of your peers. So I'm grateful for the work that you do and continue to do.
Yes, we're very lucky to have you. Thank you, board members. I would like to recommend, and I will make the motion, that we give Mr. Thomas an 8% raise and a $5,000 bonus. I'm looking for a second.
Enthusiastic second.
Thank you very much.
Or third.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any questions on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. And that was passed unanimously. And Mr. Thomas, it looks like you would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, so I am humbled by everything you said. I would share with you that it's actually easy when you have passion and interest. And it's not just me personally, but I feel like all of the staff at RTC really care about their jobs. Mm-hmm. And I think they bring that care to work every day. And that's why you see the success in the organization. It's not me. It takes employees who really care about what they're doing. And it also takes a board, and it's hard, like you've all said, when you guys have so many boards, to actually work together because there's so many things in the community where there's friction points and there's reasons for you not to be working together. So I really appreciate that from the board.
Our pleasure, and looking forward to an amazing 2025, 2026. So thank you, Mr. Thomas, for your commitment. Okay, we're now going to move into our reports. We have skipped 7.1 and 7.2. So Ms. Rosenberg, if you will help us with 7.3, which is our update from NDOT.
Happy to. Thank you for having me here today. This will be brief, just a short update on some of our projects. So first, Matley Lane reconfiguration. Just a heads up about an upcoming project near the RTC's bus facilities. In June, we will launch a project to improve Matley Lane between Villanova Drive and Plum Lane in front of Worcester High School. The existing 3 lanes will be reconfigured to 2 lanes with a right turn lane at Plum Lane. Such lane reductions can slow travel speeds. The lane reduction will also make room for us to construct a wider 10-foot concrete sidewalk to replace the existing 4-foot sidewalk on the west side of Matley Lane. The existing concrete median will be removed and replaced with a 6-inch high curb. As you are all aware, speed-related crashes have taken place on this section of road, some even impacting RTC bus facilities. A traffic signal modification has slowed traffic exiting from the interstate, and the reduced lanes are aimed at further reducing unsafe travel speeds. The improvements were developed in part through engineering reviews and a road safety assessment. And I just want to add, I know Mr. Searcy left, but the last time I spoke with him, we had a great conversation about a group of students at Worcester High School that got very involved in this project, held meetings with our chief traffic safety engineer, Lacey Tisler, and so it was nice to see that engagement of students helping us make the project better for their safety around their school. So that was really a feel-good moment. Next, US 395 North Valley's lane switches. An update on this project. In the coming weeks, we will launch a traffic switch on the southbound lanes. Southbound US 395 lanes will be split and divided from Panther Valley to Clear Acre. Crews are constructing new lanes in the roadway median. One lane will be shifted to the outside left side of the freeway, while the other lane will be separated to the right side. I always find the pictures more informative than the words. It gets a little confusing. We will be reminding drivers that through traffic should use the outside lane. Motorists will need to use the inside right lane to exit at Parr Boulevard or Clear Acre. This is a major next step in this project, which we're excited about. Ultimately, this multi-year project will widen and repave approximately 4 miles of US 395 between North McCarran and Golden Valley. Yes, and the schedule for this lane switch isn't quite finalized yet. We're hoping end of May, but it depends on a number of different factors here. And finally, last month, we discussed our work zone safety initiatives for National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, held April 21st through 25th. Public education and awareness are another important aspect of safety. During Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, we posted approximately 20 social media posts and videos, which were seen more than 20,000 times. Also, to show our support for the crews working every day in Nevada highways, we encourage administrative employees who do not wear prescribed uniforms to participate in Go Orange Day on Wednesday, April 23rd, by wearing orange or other work zone safety colors. Go Orange Day is a national day meant to raise awareness and remind motorists to drive safely through our work zones. And it's a great reminder. This is where people work, this is their offices, and so often our motoring public does not pay attention, does speed through those work zones, so we continue to emphasize the importance of that. And with that, that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. A great update. Are there any questions for Ms. Rosenberg from the board?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. And we'll continue to work on those projects together. We'll go into item 8. This is commissioner announcements and updates. Do commissioners have any updates or announcements?
Madam Chair, I do.
Great.
All right. I just wanted to remind everybody that Biketopia is scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, May 17th, from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Reno Public Market. I also want to extend my gratitude to Josh and Paul, who have been on these every Friday calls for, it feels like forever now, trying to get this event off the ground. And so RTC's involvement is really special in this community, this biking community. Northern Nevada Public Health also took a lead role. We've got a bunch of different organizations that all pitched in to plan this great event. And so we're just out there promoting bike safety and making sure that people can get around town in a healthy and safe manner. So we'd love to see you tomorrow. Commissioner Hill, I'll set aside a t-shirt for you. Commissioner
I'll be
Reese,
there.
let me know what size you'd like. And I'll be happy to set some t-shirts aside that were designed by a student at Spanish Springs High School. Thank you.
So cool. Thank you for your work on that. The passion it shows, and the design is awesome. So you got to go down to the public market tomorrow to check that out. Commissioner Reese?
Nothing, but I'll take a large T-shirt.
You got it.
Awesome. And my only reminder is that we have our budget hearing on the 29th at 2 p.m. So hopefully board members have that on their calendar. Now we'll go into our final public comment, Madam Clerk.
As you mentioned earlier, we did receive one public comment via email, and it will be made part of our meeting minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, thank you everyone for accommodating this tight schedule. We are adjourned.